Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chiefs Blitz Breaking News Show. Here are your hosts, Mr. Bowtie Sports, a.k.a. Hence Todd and the Juice Kid, the KC Mango.
All righty. Well, I am not the Bowtie Man. I am Nick Athen, along with KC Mango. We are here with breaking news today. It's been a very eventful Thursday for the Kansas City Chiefs. Last night, Taylor Swift and her boyfriend and soon-to-be brother-in-law probably broke the internet. And word this morning is the internet's going to be broken again because it has been reported that Rashee Rice will be available for the first month of the season. So, which means, according to Adam Schefter, he's expected to play the first 4 weeks before any potential suspension is handed out. His disciplinary hearing with the NFL is on Tuesday, September 30th, which is the Tuesday after the Chiefs host the Baltimore Ravens in Week 4. So that means the season opener and the 3 games that follow, the offense is going to be full throttle, and that's exciting. Now, the downside is the league needs more time to evaluate the process. So it's my understanding, I just got off the phone with my source, and has indicated that the league wants to review the legal case and also the civil cases, as well as the timeline from the incident to what Rashee Rice has done to make full restitution, show remorse, to avoid a long suspension. So we've heard all sorts of things, 8 games, 6 games, 4 games, 3 games. We have no idea what it is. But it's my opinion that the fact that this is being delayed into the regular season, that I think we could be somewhat optimistic it's probably going to be a shorter suspension for Rashee Rice than a long one. But, good news, at least for the 4 weeks, and that's great for the Chiefs. Now they know what they have. Get Hollywood Brown healthy, get Royals some time to get adjusted to take over the role of Rashee Rice while he's suspended. This is all a great sign for the Chiefs. So there it is, Sunday Night Football. So he will appear, I believe, in a Sunday Night Football game, if I'm not mistaken. There's the schedule. Week 1 in Sao Paulo with the Los Angeles Chargers at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that's a Sunday night game at the New York Jets. And then home week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens. So 2 of the toughest teams on the Chiefs schedule will have Rashee Rice, assuming it's a 4-game suspension at Jacksonville, and then the 3 at home, Detroit, Las Vegas, and Washington. So Rashee Rice gets a reprieve. It's going to be a temporary reprieve because he's going to be suspended. But Mango, your thoughts on what this could potentially mean for Rashee Rice?
I mean, I was just sat on the couch minding my own business, and the old Adam Schefter notification comes through, and I was pretty surprised actually, because I thought this would have been something that they had decided prior to the season beginning. I mean, I fully thought he was going to miss maybe 4 to 6 games from the start of the season. But I'm also not complaining because I can recognize that those first couple of games are actually probably some of the more difficult ones we have on the schedule this year.
Right.
So I'm definitely not complaining about having him available for that. But yeah, like you said, it's got to be a shorter one, you'd think, if it's going to be a mid-season kind of suspension, as it sounds to be.
Yeah, what's interesting about this, though, is the Chiefs do play Sunday night game at the New York Giants, which is the week before the home game against the Ravens. And I kind of would think that, he's in New York, why have him fly back a week later, just have it then? But apparently it's a scheduling thing. And again, the issue is this, the full payment restitution for the accident and the victims, Rashee Rice paid, I don't know what it was, maybe $1.1 million, plus he also had to pay all the legal fees. And then he had 3 separate legal civil cases that he had to settle. So it's my understanding that they've all been settled. Now, that doesn't mean they've been paid. And I think that leads into what's going to happen next with Rashee Rice and the Chiefs. So clearly the Chiefs probably, if they were thinking ahead, could probably get Rashee Rice under contract on a 3-year, maybe 4-year extension at a really good salary to help him offset some of these legal costs that he's going to have, because his legal costs are his civil cases are settled based on his current income, not future income. So that's one thing that his attorneys have done a really good job. My understanding is that it's okay. Here's what it is. This is what we're going to pay. This is the timeline, et cetera, et cetera. So for the Chiefs, if they want to support Rashee Rice and they want him on the roster for a long period of time, then it's my opinion that it makes a lot of sense for Brett Veach to give him a contract extension, not at full market value, not even close to full market value. He's not getting 20, 25, $30 million, but maybe they could do a deal, let's say 3 years at $45 million, and give him a $10 million signing bonus and let him settle his legal cases. Now, he still has to serve 30 days in jail. And I had been told that he is considering spending those 30 days during his suspension, so as long as he can still maintain some sort of workout schedule. So that's possible. And again, we don't know what kind of situation he's going to be in as far as where he's going to go. It's not going to be a maximum security facility. It's going to be a much lighter facility in regards to, he can still work out. He can still have phone calls, still have access to things. So it's just a matter of finding the 30 days. But, Mango, I look, when you texted me this, I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. But now it makes full sense that, Rashee Rice is getting a little reprieve here from the NFL. And, does that mean he's going to get a lighter sentence or a worse sentence? It remains to be seen. But I can't think of too many situations where a mid-season suspension is going to be in the 6 to 8 game variety. Now, I know it happened with the Chiefs' former receiver, whose name is escaping me right now, Justin Ross. He got 6 games, but he got it as time served because he was suspended by the team. So, I think for Rashee Rice, thank my lucky stars. Know that you can start the season, you can be focused, and this gives him time to ramp up and to get ready without any distractions, knowing it's coming. But at least for the first month of the season, when I think it's very critical for the Chiefs to come out at a minimum 3-1 in the first 4 games of the season, if they want to win the AFC West and get the number 1 seed, they're going to have some strong showings. And the fact that he's there, and Mango, let's hope that Hollywood Brown is 100% healthy, that we can really see what this offense could become.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, put Kelsey on ice until week 5, I say. Just run the offense through Rice. Don't pull him out until you need him.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kelsey's going to get his reps, but I think what's great about this for Patrick Mahomes is, he walks into the opener in the first 4 games saying, okay, I'm going to have Rice. I'm going to have Hollywood Brown. I'm going to have Royals. I'm going to have Xavier Worthy. I'm going to have Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, and whatever they settle on their running backs is the most confusing aspect of this roster so far. Isaiah Pacheco probably going to be the starter, Kareem Hunt the backup. After that, what's Mitchell going to bring them? Is Mitchell going to make the team? Brashard Smith, I think they're you and I talked about this yesterday. I think they're stashing him, Brashard Smith, to make a mid-season debut, get him some time to get up to NFL speed. So they'll carry him on the roster. What happens to Carson Steele? But what this does do now, Mango, is it puts the Chiefs, they've got a couple of wide receivers that I thought were going to make the team. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult now. But for Kansas City, they know he's going to be suspended. So, they're going to carry at least 6. Now I think they're going to have to carry 7, maybe even 8. So they have some coverage if there's when he is suspended.
I mean, absolutely. I think the whole special teams aspect has gotten really interesting because of the outcome of this. What does it mean for Nico Remigio? Because
there you go.
I would have thought he would have been a foot in, but I guess does Tyquan Thornton show he can return these kicks? I mean, we saw him back there against Arizona, but
right.
I mean, it wasn't anything breathtaking.
Yeah, here's the problem with, and listen, we all love Nico around here. There's no question about it. We're all team Nico here. But Tyquan Thornton can do 2 things. Brownlee, who has made a big impression in camp, seems to be the kind of guy. Juju's your solid veteran. I think Young Native Tino asked, will the Chiefs make a trade? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think they're going to roll with the guys that they have, especially since they have experience at tight end too. And Brashard Smith, in a pinch can play wide receiver because he did it 3 years in college. So, I think that it's going to be interesting to see who they carry because I think Thornton, the knock on Thornton is he is a great August football player, but when it comes to September and October, he just doesn't take what he's done to date and push that into the NFL regular season. That's why, he's been with the Chiefs, a year and a half now, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's had plenty of time to work. He's been stellar in training camp and mini camp, OTAs. He had a good first exhibition game. Royals looked terrific, and Royals is the heir apparent if they don't get a contract extension done with Rice, and Rice can be a free agent at the end of 2026. So, what does that mean for Nico? Well, Nico is going to have to really, really, really step up, and he's got to show that he can be a receiver. The bad news is, unless he gets time with Gardner Minshew, he's not going to get a lot of opportunities in the third and the fourth quarter with the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that's a problem. In fact, I don't even think Gardner is going to play in the third preseason game, and I don't think we're going to see Patrick Mahomes at all until the regular season. I think his one series was all he's going to get in August football because he certainly doesn't appear like he's going to play Friday night in Seattle. So, I mean, what do you think Nico has to do, Mango, in the next couple of weeks to show that, hey, Dave Taub may be standing up on top of the desk and jumping up and down for Nico, but Andy Reid's got to say, I got to look ahead.
Yeah. Well, obviously the other day, the wide receiver coach, Connor Embry, said, he's a guy we can trust. He knows all the spots. He knows exactly where to be. Well, let's see it then. Let's actually try and get Nico some looks with Gardner Minshew because I feel like last year he was pretty unfortunate. We didn't really get to see him in the preseason because he was with the likes of Chris Oladokun. And we know how that typically plays out. No offense, Chris.
Right.
But, let's get him in there with like a competent quarterback who actually knows what he's doing. Let's try and see what Nico can actually do in this offense. Because, I mean, if Embry's saying that he knows all the spots and they're pretty confident with him, let's see it then. Because we've not seen it yet. So, I mean, on the final day of training camp, Jalen Royals and Remigio were getting a lot of run with Gardner Minshew in the one. So I'll be interested to see if we get that set up at all against the Seahawks. But I just want to see what the kid can actually do on the offense because I don't think he's been given that great of a chance to showcase his capabilities out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of been in a weird situation. His rookie year 2 years ago, I mean, against the New Orleans Saints, he was lights out, and then he gets injured. So he's wasted a year. He comes back in the second year, and everything was expected of him to be take that next step, and he struggled in training camp. He made a lot of mistakes in his route running. The Chiefs kind of lost confidence in his ability to assimilate the offense. And then through a series of injuries and attrition, they finally said, hey, let's put him on special teams to see what he can do, which was a brilliant move because it allowed him to gain confidence. He had some big returns, including in the postseason. He's a guy that you can count on in that regard. He's the best return man they have on the roster. What they don't know is what the other guys can do. And of course, I think they'll get their opportunities over the next two games to show if they can handle it. But Remigio's way up here, excuse me, and everybody else's, I think, is several notches below. But with Rashee Rice going to get an inevitable suspension. Now, we could be shocked here, and the league could do very similar to what they did, maybe pushing the suspension to the following year. I doubt that's going to happen. But, you've got the agent, you've got the lawyer, you got Rashee Rice, you got the players union, all going up against Troy Vincent and his staff who are in charge of the suspensions. Then ultimately Roger Goodell makes the final decision. The cases are presented. And again, that hearing will be Thursday, September 30th, 2 days after the Chiefs host the Baltimore Ravens in week 4 of the NFL season. So if we look at the schedule, he's in the first 4. So if he's suspended for the next 4, that's at Jacksonville, Detroit, Las Vegas, and Washington at home, which means he could return for at Buffalo and at Denver, which is the most brutal part of the schedule for the Chiefs. Granted, they have the bye week in between, so that does spread out a little bit. in the event that it's a longer suspension, maybe he's not back till the Indianapolis game. So I think to have him for the first 4 games is big. What happens after that, nobody knows at this point. But again, the league has requested to look at the civil cases along with the criminal cases, and that Rashee Rice will get his opportunity to speak on his behalf and his representatives. And let's be honest, Mango, you and I have seen a lot of these incidents, and I've seen a lot more than you have, where these guys get in trouble off the field and they kind of have a tude, and they don't really show remorse. And for Rashee Rice, he instantly knew how stupid it was. He made a statement. He got a very good attorney. He worked out a plea deal. He settled the cases. He paid. I mean, this is going to cost him $3, $4, $5 million when it's all said and done for a stupid mistake because he had a bad day. And this is it. And he could have gone one of 2 ways. He could have just tanked his career. He could have just not worked hard in his rehab. I mean, so many different things, could have and could have happened. And he chose not. He's 100% healthy. He had major surgery. He had 3 different injuries on that knee. And he worked in the offseason. He's worked in training camp. He's made it clear to us in the media that, he knows he screwed up and he knows how big a mistake it was. He got away from his entourage in Texas. He's been mostly being in Kansas City with family. He's got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid all chirping at him. And he's shown nothing but, full remorse and a leader on the field. So, will the league see it the same way? Again, Troy Vincent hasn't always done the Chiefs any favors when it comes to these kinds of things. But we'll see what happens. But the NFLPA is going to push really hard. And my guess would be this is a 4-game suspension when it's all said and done.
Fingers crossed. We're going to dive into some comments, but before we do that, let's hear from our sponsors at Underdog Fantasy.
Let's hear it.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. Use the code Chiefs Blitz at UnderdogFantasy.com. We absolutely love this site. I shared yesterday with people the best way to play this game in the preseason is play the quarterbacks. Pick a touchdowns, pick throwing yards, passing completions, touchdown, whatever it is. That's the best way to go. Take a look at the defensive matchups. Make sure your quarterback is going to start or play. But that's the best play you can do in the preseason. I was able to earn over $330 in the last couple of weeks. So you definitely need to enjoy the game itself. It's a lot of fun. Remember, when you register, use the code Chiefs Blitz. And when you deposit $5, you'll get 50 bonus dollars. And you'll get a little prize from me once we see that you're registered. This is a signed Bobby Bell card, which will be one of the items that I will be giving away should you subscribe. So, and all those people on the Twitter right now and on YouTube channels, please subscribe as well. We really appreciate your patronage very much. So, Mango, go with the questions. What do we got?
What have we got? Young native Tina 64. Will the Chiefs make a trade for a vet, Juju, for another wide receiver 1-2?
I don't think so, because they have Juju. I don't think they have room for another veteran. And I don't want to see Thornton, I don't want to see Thornton miss out on this opportunity. Again, they got to solve the Remigio issue as well. So I don't think, and I don't really know what's out there. I mean, Keenan Allen re-signed with the Chargers. What's his name? Retired from the Cowboys.
From the Cowboys.
In the Browns. I'm sorry, his name's escaping me. Anyway, former Raider. So there's not a whole lot out there. And I don't think the Chiefs, they spent so much time with this core of receivers. And knowing that they got Rice there, this gives Royals a lot more time to be able to come into the game, and develop over the first 4 weeks, so he can fill the role during Rice's inevitable suspension.
Canadian Canuck, does anybody feel worried about our running back room? Yes.
Yes. I'm not going to disagree. Why is it a concern for you?
I mean, obviously Pop's back from the injury now. We didn't see a lot of him against Cardinals, but I thought he was running quite well. I was pretty happy with that. But after that, I'm not really sure, because we know what Kareem Hunt is.
Right.
He's obviously had a full training camp behind him this year, but we know he will easily, if he's put in a position where he has to do a lot, it's going to wear him down. We saw that towards the end of last year. And then
Correct.
Brashard Smith and Elijah Mitchell are just complete unknowns in our setup right now. So
yeah, I agree. And then you got the Carson Steele factor. So, Canadian Canuck, yes, I'm worried. It depends on what Matt Nagy and Andy Reid have devised for the running game. If you watch practice, you see a lot of passes, you see a lot of wheel routes to the running back. So who's ever back there, and Kareem Hunt's not a wheel route running back, so at least not anymore. Brashard Smith and Mitchell can do that. Pacheco could probably do it as well, but he's never really proven he's a great pass catcher yet. He is surprised, and Pacheco's been my biggest surprise at camp. Yeah. I thought for sure he'd be traded. And if they're going to trade him now, maybe they get a 5th round pick for him, or 4th round pick is the best case scenario, if he looks as good as he has in training camp. I still don't like the way he runs. There's no knock on him, but I still like to see him be a little bit more patient instead of go. So I think we know what we have in those two, but we don't know what we have in anybody else. And what does it mean that Carson Steele came in and was the featured back and with Gardner Minshew, and that okay, well, is he this guy? Is he going to be that guy? Is he going to make the team? Do we really need a fullback that you can't just put a tight end back there or put Kareem Hunt back there? You're going to get the same thing.
I mean, Noah Gray could do a lot of that stuff.
And Noah Gray can do that. Yeah. So I'm concerned. I want to really see the running game with the first unit offensive line on Friday night. That's the biggest key for me. I want to see what those guys can do.
One hence Todd. Juju is getting cut.
Hush. Enjoy your family vacation, because this topic is moot. It's not happening. He's the head coach. He's the wide receiver coach on the field, and he ain't going anywhere.
Jedi says, Remigio just cannot separate.
Well, Jedi, I think he can separate, but he hasn't had the best quarterbacks throwing to him. There was a couple opportunities in the 3rd and the 4th quarter where he was open, and they just missed him. He was running the right routes. He was where he was supposed to be. He had separation, but I think it's going to be tough at this point.
Canadian Canuck again says, big win for us. The first 4 games are tough.
Yeah, that's the toughest part. I think it's one of the toughest parts of their schedule. We know what the Chargers are. We certainly know what the Eagles are. We don't know what the New York Giants are. They could be really, really good, or they could just be crappy. We certainly know what the Baltimore Ravens are. The Ravens are going to be fighting mad. Lamar Jackson's only beaten Patrick Mahomes one time, and that was during the regular season 3 years ago. And the Chiefs have always had his number, but he's going to be out for blood, and so that's a good game to have Rashee Rice for. I think the first 4 games are critical. Set the tone. The fact that 3 of the next 4 games are in Kansas City does ease the burden. Chiefs will have 3 straight weeks at home against the Detroit Lions, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Washington / Redskins Commanders. I mean, tough games. Detroit's got a really good defense. Vegas has a defense we're not really sure about. Washington's defense is good, but it's not elite. But they're going to be facing one of the best young quarterbacks in the league in Washington, in Daniels in Washington. So, if he's suspended 4 games, let's hope it's just those 4. If it goes 6, that means he's probably back after the bye week. So he'll get an extra week to get ready, which means the Chiefs will probably activate him for their road game against the Denver Broncos. in the AFC West.
Not Rashee Rice related, but I'll always take the chance to speak about Josh Simmons when I can.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be going up against two incredible D lines with the Eagles and Giants pretty early on.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting to see how he handles that pressure so early on in his NFL career.
I was on a radio show today, and somebody asked me, what's the biggest surprise? One of the bigger surprises, and it has to be Josh Simmons. I mean, the fact that he had patella tendon surgery in October, rehabbed, spent all this time everywhere else they've been, and everything that he has done has been pointed toward being ready for the regular season. The Chiefs and the Simmons camp perfectly orchestrated the distraction and the news he wouldn't be ready till October, which scared off all 31 teams. But the Chiefs and Simmons, I think they worked together to make this happen. He ended up being with the Chiefs. That's where he wanted to be all along. The Chiefs spent more time with him in the off season in discussions and meetings and conversations than they did with any other draft pick in recent memory, probably going back to Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely.
So I think Simmons, took every snap at left tackle in the at training camp. He assumed the position. He understands that he's got things to do. Now I'm concerned about his hands, and he can't grip the outside of a opposing defensive lineman, but he's going to go against some of the best defensive ends, in the NFL, and that's what you want. And if he can handle that and give Patrick Mahomes an extra second, I mean, you give Patrick Mahomes one more second in any given pass situation, he's going to probably complete those passes 70 to 80% of the time. So that's how significant it is for Simmons to play well. And Kingsley Suamataia has got to play well too. Again, good things, not so good things, but it were more good than bad, I think, in his 11 snaps that he took on Saturday night.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Canadian Canucks just echoed that with Kingsley as well. Kingsley's another big question. Do or die first couple of games. Hopefully he shines. Yeah,
hopefully. Also, from our buddy Bowtie, who's on vacation, everyone watching on Facebook, X, and everywhere else, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get our numbers up. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm very proud of that. We've worked very hard here. We've done it gradual. We don't buy bots around here. We just want the people to enjoy the show. So if you could please tell your friends to subscribe as well and subscribe yourself, we would appreciate that as well. I think there was...
Gary had a good one. Gary was just being nice in the chat.
Gary? Oh, yeah. Gary, you're such a huge supporter of ours. Again, please consider subscribing, hitting the like, and support of your channel. We appreciate your presence very much. So this is a fun podcast. We have a great time. We do breaking news. We do 3 shows a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all at 1:30 on our YouTube channel. And on Saturdays, the Bowtie Sports Show as well, part of the family as well. So we appreciate that very much. So today, the big news, Rashee Rice will be playing the first 4 games of the 2005 regular season, thanks to Adam Schefter with ESPN. His disciplinary hearing with the NFL will be on Tuesday, September 30th, which we said will be the after the 4th game where the Chiefs host the Baltimore Ravens. So the Tuesday before the Jacksonville's Monday night game, I would assume that probably within that same week, we'll probably learn of the suspension. Again, the league is going to want to make a statement. They're going to want a lengthy suspension. The NFLPA is going to want less of a suspension. So Rashee Rice, if he continues the trend of showing full remorse and taking care of the responsibility financially that he's had to endure for his mistake, leads me to believe, number 4 could get a 4-game suspension. I think that's fair. If he'd have just not handled this thing properly, not settled the cases, not accepted the plea, which the plea was not, it comes with a 30-day jail sentence. Yes, it has to be completed over 5 years, but that still means he's going to jail for at least 30 days. So that's pretty significant punishment as well. So that's why I don't think the league can really go beyond, four games to equate to what the jail sentence is. And in a lot of these cases, they don't get jail sentences, but this is something that the Dallas DA demanded.
Hence has asked, do we think Rice will be suspended 6 to 10 games like Mike Florio suggested?
I don't think Florio. I think Florio, he's got a pretty good grasp of the legal system. He is a former lawyer, former agent. So yeah, he probably has a pretty good understanding of how this works. Again, here's the issue that everybody must remember. There haven't been a lot of quote unquote traffic instances. There haven't been a lot of 120 mile an hour runs to where an NFL player was involved and all the things that surrounded that day. So, a lot of these are DUI cases, which is a stupid thing in itself. And also speed racing is just as stupid. So the league has to weigh into, does this equate to more than a DUI situation? The receiver for the Minnesota Vikings only got 3 games for his DUI, and other players have gotten 4 and 6 games for DUIs. So it really depends. And domestic violence seems to be the pushing of the envelope. So, in the league's eyes, does the domestic violence suspension equal what Rashee Rice did? And I say personally, no. And I'm not doing this as a homer, but again, full restitution, full financial restitution, admission of guilt, jail time, cleaning out his entourage, being focused in the off season. Again, he has not done anything since. He's not been in any kind of trouble. He has taken his responsibility in the matter. So in my view, if he gets more than 4 games, and this is just the NFL doing the Yanks, and the Chiefs are the most popular team in the NFL. It's a cash cow. I mean, the ESPN show with the Chiefs debuts tonight. You've got the Chiefs on 9 games or 8 games, in streaming services or major networks. So to have one of their best players out, do they really want to do that for 6 games? If it hurts the cash cow of the Chiefs, again, that's another thing you have to weigh in. And again, the NFL is a business, people. It's entertainment, but it's a business at its core. And hopefully the Chiefs and Rashee Rice's representation in the NFLPA steps in and says, hey, this is an unusual situation. It should not be a 6-game or 8-game suspension. It should be 4 at a maximum. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
In other news, Nick, why don't you tell the wonderful 580 people watching what they could potentially be the owner of?
Oh, we're doing this again. Yes, as many people know or may not know for the first time that are watching the 4 Guys in a Bar podcast and the breaking news. I had a collection of collectibles I've had for been working on 5 decades. So I am in the process of selling them one by one. We're going to be setting up a storefront on ChiefsBlitz.com. So I'll have probably 400 or 500 items out there for sale. But this one, very special to me. It's signed by the 5 members of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl IV Hall of Fame: Johnny Robinson, Emmitt Thomas, Len Dawson, Willie Lanier, and Bobby Bell. And then Johnny Robinson was added later after 2019. The ball was signed prior to that at an event at TriStar. And then Johnny Robinson added his signature to complete the 5 guys who made up all big contributions in the Chiefs Super Bowl win back in 1970, January 11th, 1970. They won their first Super Bowl. So it comes with a case, it comes with a ball, and personal collection. It also comes with free shipping only for the price of $1,450. So there you go. Thanks, Mango, for allowing me to do it. Also, if you want to win the ultimate ride, Derek Thomas Foundation, the Third and Long Foundation, along with Duron Cherry's Foundation, are setting up a raffle. You can hit the QR code. There's a step you have to do afterward to register. You can get raffle tickets for $100 a piece. On October 16th, they're going to draw that raffle to get the Derek Thomas Mercedes-Benz that he personally drove while he was a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Third and Long Foundation and the Duron Cherry Foundation. I've worked with the Third and Long Foundation for many, many years. It's a class act. Neil Smith has done a great job carrying the mantle. He and Derek worked in this thing together in the beginning, and Neil Smith has taken it over since his unfortunate passing. 20 years ago? Anyway, it's been a long time since Derek's been gone. He's never far from any fan of the Chiefs, definitely Mount Rushmore of the Chiefs. But again, it's real simple. Just hit the scan, do the registration, buy your ticket for $100, and you could be the lucky winner of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the car that was owned by the late, great Derek Thomas.
Okay, Nick, so just final thoughts on the situation. And as it is, Rashee Rice set to be available for the Chiefs' first 4 games of the season.
Well, again, it's great news for Patrick Mahomes. It's great news for Andy Reid. That means they can throw out all their toys in weeks 1 through 4 and not have to worry about anything, and see if Tyquan Thornton or Brownlee or Remigio or Royals can just take the mantle, maybe not be as productive as Rashee Rice, but a combination of 1 or 2 of those guys that can get the same yardage and the same results. This gives them time in game situations to throw them out there to see what they can do. So this is a win. This is a huge win for the Chiefs. It may be a small silver lining if he gets a long suspension, but I think for Kansas City now they can say, okay, we've got him. We can game plan. They broke camp yesterday. They go to Seattle tomorrow. They'll be back on practice, I believe, on Monday as they prepare for their final preseason game at home against the Bears the following Friday. My bad. So now they know, because they're going to start working on game plans for the Chargers beginning this week. They're not going to care about the final game, preseason games. So I'll get ready to go to South America to play the Los Angeles Chargers in the season opener on Friday, September 5th, I believe.
Correct.
And so again, Mangos is good news for the Chiefs in the short term, long term. I think it's still good news because they know he's going to be suspended, but they're going to have a lot of opportunity to get a lot of guys some playing time between now and that when that suspension begins.
Absolutely. Let's hear from our sponsors one final time before we go. This is Underdog Fantasy.
Let's do it.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. Use the code Chiefs Blitz. Deposit 50, play 50, and you'll get. Deposit 5, play 5. You get a $50 bonus, and then there are other bonuses available. They will announce their regular season NFL prizes, games, etc. I believe the end of this week, early next week, we'll update the commercial as well. They've been a great partner for us, so we appreciate everything they've done. And remember, folks, there's only one prize in the NFL, and that's this. That's it. That's all there is. And the Chiefs today, with the news of Rashee Rice playing for the first 4 games, is going to be a really big advantage for the team overall as a quest to go to their 4th straight Super Bowl and match that feat of the Buffalo Bills, who lost all 4. Hard to believe, hard to fathom. My condolences to the Bills Nation, because they're actually some really good people. So we appreciate that very much, that we've done some good bantering back and forth. So Mango, thanks for slapping the show together very quickly. This has been the Breaking News Shows presented by 4 Guys in a Bar and ChiefsBlitz.com for all your Chiefs news. Go to ChiefsBlitz.com. And also our podcast will be back again on Friday with questions from all of our fans. It's Q&A Friday, and we will also have an update on the stadium issues for both the Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals. Big news tomorrow.
See you then.
All right, guys. Peace out.